And the jumper falls for him.
And reporters said they saw a bit of a confrontation involving him after last game. Not between him and the other team, but actually between him and a teammate.
Well, the talk was it was about how the ball was moving, or rather how it wasn't moving. Whenever teammates start disagreeing and bickering with each other over touches, you know something is awry.
Here's Williams. No luck. And as the first quarter wraps up, already a double-digit lead. Hawks lead by 12. 2 games lead. But here at Phillips Arena in Atlanta. And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And for the Hawks, this has been the game they've wanted to have.
Yeah, the defense has been terrific. They came out right from the beginning, alert and focused, and they've been really good at that end of the floor.
And I think Coach has to be pleased with the effort, Steve.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. And so in the game for the Hawks, Kent Bazemore is out there with Schroeder. Then there's Horford. Then it's DeMarre Carroll. And it's Scott in at power forward. The Raptors shooting their third free throw shot of the game.
Well, one of the better free throw shooting teams in the NBA. They're hitting about 80% from the line this year.
That's been one of the strongest aspects of this team this season. I mean, there have been very few off nights for them at the free throw line.
Horford dishes to Bazemore. The shot no good. Now Toronto takes it the other way. Last time they met was in Toronto.
Yeah, it was a big loss. Pretty much pure domination. And I thought the key was the rebounding total. I mean, it was ugly. They were completely dominated on the glass. That's going to have to improve tonight.
Raptors trail by 9. Ross on the wing. Toronto working the ball around now. Pass to Champ. Now here's Ross. Tight defense on him. And his first shot of the game, no good.
Well, they'll give him that shot. He doesn't have the most reliable jump shot in the world. We know that.
Terrence Ross, I think, has a chance to be an elite 3-and-D player at the NBA level. That's three-point shooting and defense for the uninitiated. Tremendous athleticism and a beautiful stroke make him an entertaining player to watch. This is how the Raptors stack up over the last 10 games. First in fewest turnovers per game. First in opponent points per game. Look at the free throw shooting numbers, not very strong. Top 20 in the league. That begs for improvement.
And what's most impressive out of all those numbers, Clark, is the few turnovers that they commit. Because now all of a sudden you're executing, you're putting a lot of pressure on the defense because they know they're not going to force a lot of steals and get out in transition to find easy points.
And Terrence Ross can make some highlights, Steve, around the rim.
Yeah, so athletic. You'd like to see him get to the line a bit more. I think he has a tendency to settle, but as he is, a pretty efficient scorer.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but their cutting, their movement together as a unit that's led to that.
To the left wing. Pass to Patterson. Goes up the baseline. It will go down, and the Hawks lead is kept back down to 11. Some big points there from Ross. Hawks have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Schroeder kicks to Scott. Well, most coaches will tell you, you need scoring in the paint to be successful. Here are some big men around the league that have been providing plenty of that over the last month. In the third spot, Al Horford.
And there are different styles among those big men, but they have one thing very much in common. They can dominate offensively, face up or back to the basket. They can get it done.
And that's what makes that list so intriguing to me, Steve, just how varied it is in terms of technique each of those big men use. I mean, you could fill a textbook by taking a little piece of each of their games. I mean, they all do something different and unique and do it well.
All right, well, look at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for Atlanta.
This is a physical brand of basketball we're seeing so far, and they're getting to the foul line.
They've established their presence in the paint tonight. Also, a lot of their scoring to this point coming from down low.
And over the years, we've seen injuries bother the same people over the course of their careers, while other players seem to stay healthy. And It may be just genetic makeup. It could be off-season training, but it does seem that staying healthy can almost be considered a skill rather than just luck of the draw.
Raptors trail by 11. Lowry passes to Champ. Outside for Lowry. The pass to Champ. Inside. Out of bounds. Atlanta takes possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. Terrible turnover.
Paul Mil
Nice shooting.
He's checked in for Patterson. And Lewis Williams subbed in for Champ. Here's Schroeder. Lowry covering. Millsap dishes to Schroeder. Carroll. And so we wrap up the first half. It's Atlanta up 7. And now.
Thank you, Kevin.
Hey guys, settle down for a second. I noticed a couple of things from that first half. Very nice offensive first half from the reserves. You guys had a big impact.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment.
Get up. You're going in.
Here we go.
Here's Lowry, averaging 13 points a contest, setting the floor for the Raptors. Lowry and DeRozan, they're the backcourt. Hayes out there with Patrick Patterson. And it's Johnson in at the small forward.
Well, he's been a real positive factor for them today, although, as a team, they've had it's mixed in there as well. And we get a chance to see the numbers for Kyle Lowry, averaging 13 points a game, 8 assists, and 6 rebounds. They've been able to count on him to run the show offensively, which he's done with his sensational passing.
Yeah, he's been setting them up with a lot of easy baskets, room service dimes. We call them, one great look after another coming off of his passes.
Here's Millsap. Rebound by the Raptors. Hayes has got 4 rebounds in this game.
Well, Paul Millsap has said he doesn't feel undersized anymore with the way the league is going, but more emphasis now on spreading the floor, so Millsap fits in easier. He can always find somebody to guard.
Clock at 6. Patterson passes to Champ. And another basket for Toronto.
Fantastic pass. He turned that one into a pretty easy basket for his teammate.
The Hawks leading by 11.
And for Millsap, frankly, his height has really never been an issue. I mean, this is a guy who was a big-time rebounder throughout his days in college. But even though he's only 6'7", that 7-foot wingspan helps, and he's strong enough to hold his own with most forwards in the league.
And here's Cephalosha for 3. The rebound by Patterson. Patterson's got 4 rebounds in this game. Lowry against Teague. Lowry passes to Champ. Back to Lowry. Toronto needs to get off a shot. Champ. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. No question, guys, that Millsap can rebound and defend the power forward position with the best of them.
Yeah, you remember he led the NCAA in rebounding all 3 of his seasons at Louisiana Tech, so this guy has a nose for the ball.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kevin, the Atlanta Hawks, a team that looks to spread the floor with shooting. Coach Mike Budenholzer said we don't want to just be a three-point shooting team. We want to get to the rim first. By creating that space, we give our guards and our bigs a chance to attack. If the paint is taken away, we'll look for our shooters. Good strategy, Kevin.
Coach Bud coming from San Antonio, Doris. The Hawks trying to create that same kind of spacing. They need this one. That's good. And so Teague with the assist. Teague's got 4 assists now tonight. Raptors trail by 13. And Atlanta will go for a different look here. Scotty's checked in for Millsap. Damari Carroll comes in for Cephalosha. Kent Bazemore for Kyle Korver. And it's Dennis Schroeder in for Jeff Teague. And Toronto will go for a different look here. Hansbrough's checked in for Hayes. Johnson comes in for Patrick Patterson. Ross is checked in for Johnson. And Lewis Williams subbed in for Kyle Lowry. 6 on the shot clock. Ross passes to Champ. And again, no good by Toronto.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in control of this game.
Yep, they have not let their guard down one bit in the paint.
Schroeder kicks it to Bazemore. Lets it go from deep. Good! Bazemore's got 5.
Boy, they've come out of halftime just smoking hot from behind the arc.
Hey, trust me on this one, partner. They are going to continue to let them fly.
Outside Williams. Passes it to Champ. Unloads from 13. Ross, that's good. And so it's Atlanta with it. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
They just couldn't get the ball in the basket that day, guys. No matter how many plays you make at the defensive end, it's hard to overcome such a lack of production offensively.
Yeah, the high-quality shots were few and far between for them, and they have nobody to blame but themselves. They need to work a lot harder to get good shots today.
Williams with the ball. Pass to Champ. It'll count. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
This was such
The Hawks. Max checked in for Horford. And it's Teagan for Schroeder. A new group in now for the Raptors. Chuck Hayes, he's checked in for Hansbrough. Patterson comes in for Amir Johnson. Johnson, he's checked in for Ross. And it's Kyle Lowry in for Lou Williams. Teague out there with Shelvin Mack. Then there's Kent Bazemore. Then it's Damari Carroll. And it's Scott in at the center. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. For the Hawks, Al Horford, he's checked in for Scott. There's more. And it's Korver in for Mack. Champs checked in for Toronto. Teague against Lowry. Teague dishes to Millsap. Korver kicks to Horford. He feeds it to Korver. 6 to shoot. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Hayes has got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Lowry passes to Patterson.
some great free throw shooting so far in this second half.
I think they should keep trying to initiate contact and get back to the line until they start missing from there. But as it is, they're perfect so far, so keep it up.
For the Hawks, Scotty's checked in for Horford. Ken Bazemore comes in for Kyle Korver. And Max subbed in for Jeff Teague. And then for Toronto, Tyler Hansbrough's checked in for Hayes. Johnson comes in for James Johnson. And Terrence Ross is subbed in for Kyle Lowry. Here's Bazemore. Here's Millsap. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
And this is what they wanted, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. And I think it can be considered a statement win for Atlanta.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Shot quality and better overall shooting.
And now, on the year, this will take them to 28 wins.
And in the final game of the season series between these two teams, they did everything out there they needed to do to close out with a winning record of 3-1 against the Raptors.
Well, you look back at this one, and what an amazing performance this has been for Paul Millsap. He was extremely efficient offensively, getting looks, knocking down big shots all game long.
Here's Scott. And it's Toronto with the rebound. 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Vasquez passes to Champ. He tries for three. That's good. 32 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. There's the screen. And Max it to Bazemore. Millsap up top. 17 seconds left in the game. They're running, moving it up. Steps back and fires. And misses it off the right side of the rim. Here's Mack. And so...
Paul, tonight seemed like it was a game that should